We're joined now with Marc Gorlin. He's the founder and CEO of Roadie, which is quite a unique app. So tell us a little bit about Roadie.
Roadie allows you to help people out by taking stuff on places you're going anyway. So whether you're going to work, you're taking the family on vacation, you can help other folks out by bringing their stuff in your car for a ride. You can get paid for being a good neighbor. You get paid for it, you get discounts at places like Waffle House and soon to come Fuel and other places, free roadside assistance, and then you get to write off miles that you're already going to drive anyway.
What's the inspiration behind Roadie?
Well, it's funny. I live in Atlanta, and I had a tile job gone wrong down in Florida after I'd already started going down there and needed to get tile from Birmingham to Montgomery, Alabama, and there was no good option to do it. And then I thought there's bound to be somebody leaving Birmingham right now heading that way. If I just knew who they were, surely they would throw a box of tile in their trunk, give them 20 bucks, hell, they're coming that way anyway. And that sort of set it off to the idea that there's someone leaving everywhere, going everywhere else all the time. And if you could just tap into that existing network, reveal it if you will, you've got a pretty powerful transportation heat map, probably bigger than UPS, FedEx, and USPS combined.
Speaking of UPS was involved in a round of funding for you. How did that come to be?
Well, UPS has invested in past deals I've done as well, one being Cabbage. And it's pretty smart for them. Think about it. If you were among the hoteliers or lodging companies, don't you wish you'd have invested in Airbnb? Same thing in transportation companies for Uber and Lyft. So I think they see that there's service options at sort of a right now, anytime, anywhere network of people already going there can do things they can't do. If you need to leave Santa Monica right now and get something up to San Francisco in the next like 3 or 4 hours, I mean, you could hop it on a flight, but it'd be very expensive. What if somebody's going that way anyway and you need to get an old antique crib up to your parents' house or something? There's no good options, especially for really urgent or oversized out-of-the-box sort of items that are larger and would cost a fortune with regular carriers.
Do you have any fears about competition, like someone like an Uber who has this tremendous user basis stealing?
No, we actually owe a pretty big debt of gratitude to Ubers and Airbnbs, and sure, people can get in the space, and it's very noisy right now, but there's a key difference between Roadie and almost anybody else you see, and it's this. I'll use Uber as the example. Right now, when you summon somebody with that Uber app to come to you, someone's coming to a place they weren't already going anyway, and then taking you somewhere else that they also weren't already going anyway. With Roadie, someone in your general vicinity is going in the same direction that your stuff needs a lift, and they're taking it with them for you. So there's a lot of cost that comes out of the equation if someone's going there anyway versus, going to places that they weren't already going. And that's where I think that this is different than a lot of the models out there.
And now you just need to lock in like pancakes and pizza, and then we're all good.
No, we have all items that you're not allowed to ship, and I think they made me add pancakes to that list after we did the deal with Waffle House.
You're newly launched. How's it been going so far?
It's been going great. We're literally 6 weeks in. We've had well over 20,000 downloads. All sorts of gigs have been running all over the Southeast, and the demand's been so high. In fact, that's why today at the Montgomery Summit we've announced that we're opening up nationally.
Wow.
So we tested out pretty quickly after starting that we had opened up Texas and some other states, but now we literally have Roadies in Hawaii that are ready to take packages for you.
That's amazing.
It's awesome.
Are there any risks to both your users as well as the drivers?
Well, we have a pretty good process of knowing who is on both sides of a package. You think about taking some of the post office or UPS, or FedEx, you don't necessarily always know that. In our case, we collect a driver's license, we know it's a valid ID, we know it's not expired, we have insurance information, what type of car they drive, and their bank account information on the Roadie. We also have name, address, picture, as well as credit card information on the sender. So we know both sides of it. There's also a photographic chain of custody for items as they go through the app. So you know that your iPhone 6 isn't going to show up as a Samsung when it gets there, and you know if it didn't have a scratch before, it shows in there that it didn't before. That also lets people know that they're shipping things they should, because you can make sure it'll fit in your car, but you can also make sure it's something you're comfortable taking.
Speaking of unusual items, has there been anything that has sparked your interest when you guys look at it, like someone sent that?
Yeah, we've had a few cool ones. I mean, we've had the regular things. We've had a medical device and ottomans and Girl Scout cookies, but there was literally a knight of armor that somebody needed to ship from somewhere, I think in the Carolinas to somewhere else. Didn't see that coming. You can't make up the stuff that people do, and that's what's cool about Roadie is there's this invisible white space of shipping that people just don't think of. If you want to send a 40-pound box of books to your parents in New York, then you would never want to ship it. It'd be too expensive to do. But if someone's going there anyway, it might make a whole lot more sense for you.
Where do you see Roadie, in a few years from now?
Well, that's a good question. if you look at what the DOT says about how shipping and the transportation routes are going to expand, it's going to get worse. There's going to be 60% more freight trucks on the road. And I think it'd be a great environmental impact if Roadie could get in there and offset some of that by letting passenger vehicles that are already going there anyway take some of that load off. It's good for the environment, it's friendlier, it's cheaper, and it helps people out. I mean, that's essentially what Roadie is. It's sort of, you can hear with my accent, I'm from the South, but Roadie is an authentically Southern idea based in Southern hospitality, helping people out, giving them their stuff a lift when you're going there anyway.
It's your neighborhood Roadie. Well, thank you so much, Marc, and we look to seeing great things from the road.
Thank you so much, Jackie.